remember my out-of-control seed obsession. Today's episode is all about taking risks and planting some seeds to see if I can actually grow anything from seed. I've never done this before, so if you have any tips and tricks, please feel free to share your good advice in the comments below. I need all the help I can get. Okay, I think I have all of them. Maybe. Wait, I should check over here. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, golly whiz, how do I carry this? Not with a camera, that's for sure. You all should be so proud of me. I am using my alarm to remind me to get up and go do the laundry. And today I'm trying to get that laundry done. And I came into the laundry room all set to pop it in the washer, and this is what I found. I forgot that I am in the midst of preparing all of my pots for planting, and I have a little tidying to do before I can do the laundry, but I'm getting it done. So thank you everyone who made your suggestions. I have big plans for this laundry room, but that's for a future episode, not for today. We are approaching the day when I have to get my seeds into the seed trays, and I have nowhere to put them once they're in the seed trays unless I get the greenhouse all cleaned out. There's still pots left in there, so another small job on the way to getting my big job done. I love to watch homesteading videos. I'm fascinated by the idea and I'm challenged by the concepts. But in reality, I'm just dipping my toes into feeding my family by growing some veggies. That being said, I've got big plans for this year's veggie garden extravaganza, and it all starts with these seeds that I'm experimenting with in today's episode. Becoming interested in growing my own veggies has brought some new insights to me about the standard suburban American lifestyle today and how it affects my physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Because I spend so much time sitting while working on computer screens, staying inside watching TV, and filling my off time with sedentary hobbies, I have become insulated and isolated from the rhythms of nature. The seasons change and pass by, barely making an impact on my daily routine, unless my comfort is impacted. Yes, I notice the snow and rain, but mostly I only notice because I'm glad to be inside and not exposed to the elements. How does this affect me? The lack of vitamin D from the sun and the lack of exercise contribute to a deteriorating emotional state, a lack of equilibrium, and an increased desire to hibernate away from the outside world. But I'm missing out. I'm missing out on seeing the minute changes that happen every day as the season passes from winter into spring. I'm missing out on feeling like I'm a part of the world around me. So much to clean up. That was it. That's the last pots out of the greenhouse. I'm going to let them air out for a little while, then I'll give them a quick clean. There's some leaves and stuff in there that I need to clean out, but otherwise I think it's pretty much ready to go. Just a bit of tidying left. Those signs both make me laugh because while I am a plant lady, I can tell that it does not look like it right now. This is the first time I've ever left plants in a greenhouse over the winter. Usually I have them all cleaned off my deck and I don't leave anything up there. So it doesn't really look like it with all these poor dead creatures. And as far as for relaxing, all you've seen me do is a whole lot of work. So I don't think either one of these signs are very appropriate. Why am I doing this in my kitchen? It's still a little chilly outside and I'm not prepared outside. I don't have to my potting bench cleaned off. And there's still snow on the ground, so I'm gonna stay in here where it's warm, and this is where I'm gonna be setting up my little trays anyway, so I might as well just make one big mess right here and get it over with. Another way my lifestyle affects me is that I'm caught up in a perpetual negative cycle. Lack of activity and outside time causes me to be increasingly lazy and uninspired, which then causes me to be less active and go outside less, which causes me to be lazier, which causes me to, well, you can see where I'm going with this. This ongoing cycle contributes to a lack of physical well-being and a downward spiraling lack of motivation and wellness. And thirdly, as a standard suburban American, I like things easy, comfortable, and convenient. I want to have variety. I want to have what I want when I want it, and I don't want to be inconvenienced by little things like delays, problems, or reality. I want my comfort and convenience to be uninterrupted, and I will pay extra to make that happen. Don't believe it's true? Here are some examples. DoorDash, grocery store pickup, pharmacy drive-thrus, fast food drive-thrus, Amazon Prime. I could go on and on. All of these make my life more comfortable, more convenient, and every time I use them, I dig myself a little bit deeper into the mud. So what does all this have to do with planting seeds and growing my own veggies? Well, I'm making some changes around here. I'm starting small and taking some baby steps in an effort to bring myself back into some semblance of equilibrium. By challenging myself to grow more veggies this year than last year, I'll be increasing the time spent outside watering and caring for my plants. Being responsible for their lives and well-being will give me the motivation I need to get up and go outside each day. There's something incredibly satisfying about seeing them grow and begin to produce fruit and knowing that it's a result of my care. Spending more time outside with my veggie garden will increase my vitamin D, break the sedentary cycle, and give me a reason to get up and go each day. Seeing them grow, harvesting the fruits, and using them to feed my family will be an ongoing cycle of renewal throughout the spring and summer, which will also renew my spirit and get me started on the path to physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Being outside caring for my garden will ground me in the present season, providing me with opportunities on a daily basis to soak in the beauty of God's creation and the miracle of how He created everything to work together. I'm looking forward to seeing the first blossoms, the pollinators hard at work, the first fruits, and the bounty of the harvest. I have no idea if I did any of this right, and I had to stop in the middle to fix dinner, and then I had to stop in the middle again to go and get my hair cut, and so it's done. They're all in, this batch anyway, and I had to clean up this whole area, and I just completely forgot to turn on the camera and move it. So you missed seeing me clean. I know you're brokenhearted. I'm so sorry.
I wasn't really sure if this was going to work, but it does seem to have worked just fine, and it is working to hold the moisture in. And even the one on the bottom layer is doing fine. So we'll see what happens.
Working and waiting for the time to harvest will center me in the reality of nature and how good things take time to achieve. I'm looking forward to relearning little things like patience and diligence and the value of hard physical work. I want to be tired at the end of the day, not because I sat on my butt all day, but because I've been up and doing and working and building a new life, grounded and centered in the hope of a future harvest. I want to celebrate the passing of time and not be filled with regrets about how I spent it. Instead, I want to feel the peace of the passing of the seasons and the comfort of knowing that all things happen in His time. I want to go to bed at night knowing that this was a day well spent. I have a few minutes while nobody's home and I'm not in anybody's way, so I'm going to go ahead and try to transplant these seedlings. They've gotten a little bit leggy, although I'm super excited that they're growing, but I want to make sure that I can put them out into the greenhouse and not have them have any problems. And I'm going to be gone, so that way they can take care of themselves, hopefully. I'm going to start with these, my cabbage seedlings. I am so surprised by how many seedlings came up. In here I've got a whole mix of things, but the ones I'm most worried about are the red cabbage because they came up first and they're really getting leggy. Now, I'm not saying that growing a veggie garden is a miracle cure or that everyone needs to do the same thing. There are lots of ways to make our lives more productive and to be more connected with the beauty of the world that God has given us. But for me, this one small step is inspiring me to make some important changes in the way I live my life and in how I approach each day. As my veggies grow, I'm looking forward to seeing the growth in myself as well. That was an experience I've never had before. Brand new veggie gardener here. Never done these from seed before. But I went from having a little 4-pack of seedlings to having 9, and I ended up, some of the weaker ones, I just pitched them. I put them in my compost bucket. So I think this was a success. We'll see what happens now that they have a little more space to themselves, and I can put them out in the greenhouse where they'll get better light and all of that. And that's when things went horribly wrong. I forgot to pay attention to the nighttime temperatures and bring my seedlings inside when it got too cold, so I lost all of my tomatoes and some of the other sensitive plants. I did keep my cucumbers, or at least most of them, and all of my Swiss chard and my cabbage made it, but I had to start from scratch on my tomatoes. I am happy to report that I was able to grow some of my tomatoes again, and I was able to save quite a few things that I didn't think I was going to be able to. And then I planted some flower seeds using some toilet paper rolls. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but it looked like a cool project and I ran out of pots. So I'm giving it a try. This whole process has reminded me of Ecclesiastes 3. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance. I've been through all of the emotional roller coaster while growing these veggies. Some of my seedlings have made it and grown strong and big and beautiful, and some not so much. And some of them I killed off because of my ignorance and my newness to this experience. But it's okay. Everything happens in its time for a reason, and I'm just enjoying this process. So if you've got any advice for me as I start this new veggie growing adventure, I'd love to read about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video and seeing the beautiful spring flowers springing to life, please bop the like button and encourage YouTube to share this video with others. I can't wait to read your comments, and I'll see you next time.